Welcome to the Emily the Mystic Show. You're about to walk through a portal that leads to all things mystical, magical, spiritual, and supernatural. I'm your host, Emily. I'm a spiritual mentor, an Akashic Records practitioner and teacher, an intuition development coach, and a galactic channeler. If you're an old soul on a self-discovery and healing journey, you are in the right place. We'll be diving in deep to some of my favorite mystical topics, including manifestation, past lives, the spirit world, energy, and so much more. Get ready to embrace your inner mystic and live your most authentic life possible. The portal is now open. Welcome, my dear listener, to the last episode of 2024 for the Emily the Mystic Show podcast. You're in for a treat today, because today's episode is part 2024 reflections, part 2025 planning and intention setting and manifestation, part energy activations for the winter solstice. So I am jamming lots of juicy goodness for you into this episode. I've been so excited to record this all day. And if you have the pleasure of watching this on YouTube, you get to see my beautiful Christmas decorated office and my tree behind me. It's so cozy in here. So I hope that you grab yourself a cup of tea, another warm beverage, or something else that brings you joy. Grab your blanket and relax and receive this magical episode that I am here to share with you today. I can't wait to unpack my own year in 2024, share with you lots of juicy learnings, as well as some guidance and helpful tips and tricks for preparing for the new year. I am really all about working with the beautiful structures and containers that we have on this planet in a way that feels supportive and nurturing. So we have the Gregorian calendar, right? We have this calendar that gives us a human example of time. And we could go on a whole tangent and talk about how the Gregorian calendar is a tool of the matrix and it's here to control us and all of these things. But I prefer to have a sense of peace and control and power over my own life by using these tools that we have that are part of our day-to-day lives and using them in a way that's going to be supportive and nurturing and will help you on your own soul journey. I mean, we're human. We're here on this planet for a reason. So there are going to be some structures that our system uses that we need to work with, that we need to make the most of. So the calendar is one of those things. So I am actually really big on looking back at my year as well as intention setting for my new year. I think it's really important. I am really intentional with my time and how I am both reflective and contemplative, but also excited and in the energy of anticipation about what's to come, so that I can make sure this has been a big practice for me in recalibrating my own relationship with time. Because for me, as someone who's a very busy person doing a lot of things always, I can often get caught up and ungrounded in the busyness of life and forget to take a moment to breathe. And things like what I'm about to share with you in this episode really help me. These practices that I'm going to give you lots of guidance for today really help me recalibrate my relationship with time so that I don't feel like time is just slipping through my fingers or passing by super fast. It helps me feel really locked into the present moment and just more aware, have a greater sense of awareness of my own life and what's going on. And so I hope that this helps you if you're a very busy person. If you feel like you're always running out of time or never have enough time, or you feel like this year has just gone by so fast and where did this year go and all of these things. I hope that this helps you slow down a little bit and really be in that energy of awareness to help you be ready to be in your power as we move into the new year. Because ultimately, this is about being in co-creation with our divine source, with the universe, allowing you to take the driver's seat of your own life, to look forward to what's to come in the new year while reflecting on the lessons and things you've learned this year, and
also to allow the universe to support you on this journey, knowing that you're not manifesting in a silo and knowing that you're not on this journey alone. So I hope that this episode helps you do that. I am just recovering from being very sick. I got hit with a really intense energetic virus. I will say that I had worked with a healer, and I don't work with too many healers. It's not really something I do anymore. I will get a session with someone every so often. I do a lot of my own energy work, but I'm working on the lesson of being supported by others. So I had some energy work done by a trusted healer who's going to be on the podcast in January. So I'm so excited for you to meet her. So more to come on that. But this healer did a session for me, and I literally started getting sick the next day. I don't get sick very often. If you've noticed, if you follow me and you've been following me for years, I rarely take sick days. Maybe I'm taking time off to travel or other things, but I am rarely not feeling well. I'm usually super energized, ready to go. So I am just coming off of a very long 10-ish day healing and integration period where I was really forced to slow down, to rest, to relax, and to let myself integrate all of the things that had come forward from this particular healing session. And yeah, it was pretty miraculous, if I do say so myself. I find that when we do get sick, as we often do, and again, for me, this is something very unusual because I'm typically not someone that comes down with anything, knock on wood. I feel that that period of recalibration often is an opportunity for your gifts, your spiritual gifts, to rewire themselves, for you to have a complete energetic shift. So I feel sitting here today recording this for you that I'm in a totally different vibrational frequency than I was when I even filmed my December energy forecast. So I hope you receive that today. I hope you receive the energy that I'm here to share with you, and to know that through my own period of healing and recalibration and rest, that it really did a lot for me energetically and being able to support you in a deeper way. So if you're forced to slow down, if you get sick yourself, really allow yourself to rest as much as you can. Lean on the support of other people. Let yourself recalibrate, because these periods of forced rest and slowing down are often a need for your energy field to go through a really big shift, a really big healing, to prepare you for something new, to prepare you for what's to come. So with all that being said, I'm going to talk a little bit about my reflections first on this year and 2024. Then we'll get into my thoughts on how you can do your intention setting for 2025. And then we'll end today with a beautiful channeled energy activation to help you with manifestation as we head into the winter solstice. Because as you're listening to this episode, the weekend after is going to be the winter solstice. So lots of exciting things for you and the holiday season and all of it. And first of all, I just want to say, again, express my gratitude for you for being on this journey with me. I really hope that you use this holiday season to do something beautiful and generous and prosperous and kind for you, to indulge in some self-care, to treat yourself to something special. Because I know you, I know my listener very well, and you are an empath, you are an overgiver, you are someone that loves to help others, that loves to be of service, and it can be rare for you to slow down and give yourself time to rest. So I really hope that you listen to these words, that you do something kind for yourself, whether you're planning a massage or a day at the spa or a fun day out with friends, or you're treating yourself to something nice, or you're booking a session with me, or whatever it is that feels supportive for you. So that's my wish for you this holiday season. And I'm going to be taking 2 weeks off over the holidays. So you're going to have a little bit of a break in the podcast, but we'll pick right back up where we left off with the January energy forecast in 2025. So that's the plan. Let's get into it. So for me this year, a couple of things that I do to set intentions, and I'll give you more clear guidance on this at the end. one of the things that I do is I pick a word of the year for the year. And so for me, my word of the year for 2024 was magic. And wow, did this frequency provide for me in spades? I will say I picked it going into the year because at the end of last year, I was having a lot of anxiety in anticipation of what I knew was going to be coming down the pipeline for me this year. This was a really big year for me in terms of business growth, in terms of really holding my own as a spiritual leader. And I had a lot of anxiety and fear and resistance going into that at the end of last year. If you've been following my journey, you will know that I went from working with a spiritual mentor who I was teaching her Akashic Record certification to leaving that community, starting my own Akashic Record certification, beginning to teach light language, all of these things that I did at the beginning of this year. And so this particular year, I went into it with a lot of nerves and anticipation of, well, I have these new offerings and I'm going to have to provide and I'm going to have to be a clear channel. And I have all this, I have a lot of anxiety about, is this going to work? Am I going to be able to teach the Akashic Records just on my own? Am I going to be able to channel my own system? Am I going to be able, as an entrepreneur, we always have these thoughts of, well, am I going to be able to support myself for another year? Is my success just going to all go out the window? So the Christmas season for me is often flavored with colors of that. And so I picked the word magic because I really felt like I needed a frequency that could provide something special for me in the everyday moments. And sure enough, this word really did provide all of the little things. When we're focused on the frequency of magic as a human being, things just happen that you cannot explain. The synchronicities are unbelievable. I have come to believe about myself as I head into the end of the year here that I am just someone where I have very unusual things happen to me in life in the absolute best way. The craziest stuff happens for me. And I say for me because it's the craziest in the best way. Like the synchronicities that I experience are unbelievable. Like this person over here leads me to this person, or I get on this call with someone who reached out to me for a business collaboration, and it turns out that she knows my favorite restaurant on the street that I live on here in Philadelphia, to the whole situation with my retreat that was booked in Asheville that got canceled because of the hurricane, and that ended up being a week-long vacation in Denver, Colorado, to just unbelievable things that have happened for me this year that I can't even explain. Like, I'm searching to give you specific examples of this. And it's honestly, magic happens in the smallest moments. It's the getting the perfect parking spot when you are nervous about trying to find one. It's the asking the universe to manifest the amount of money that you need to purchase something specific, and then that amount of money showing up right away. It's the asking for clarity on a specific offer that I'm wanting to create in my business and getting a download in the most unusual way. It's seeing signs everywhere of my guides and seeing the angel numbers and the synchronicities. That has really helped me lean into the frequency of trust this year, which has been, above all else, one of my biggest lessons. Trust. Learning to deepen my capacity for trust in the universe, in my guides, and in this magical life that I have. It has been not easy, I will say that, because there are always a variety of things happening that can lead me as a human being to believe otherwise. Things going on with my family, health issues with people that I love, all, things going on in the world, horrible things that are happening on the world stage. All of these things can lead you to believe not to trust in a divine source. But this year has, with working with this word magic, has really helped me to anchor in to the frequency of magic and allowing me to really trust. Well, anchoring into that frequency of trust this year, which, by the way, I'm just going to give you a really quick preview here, a quick side note, that because I've really been working on this lesson of trust, and I like to call, when I look at the theme of trust, I like to look at it in 3 parts, almost like a pyramid. We have on one side of the pyramid of trust, trusting in the universe. On the next side, we have trusting in others. And at the bottom of the pyramid, we have trusting in ourselves. So we have to have all 3 sides of the pyramid in order to have a balanced life where we're able to surrender, be in the divine feminine, be anchored in our intuition. If any of these sides of the pyramid is lacking, we're going to have challenge surrendering, challenge being open to receive. We're going to cling desperately onto old things in our life that are not supportive, and because we're afraid of the unknown and we're afraid of trying something new, we're afraid of trying something different. And so I have really been continually taking leaps into the unknown, practicing getting used to being comfortable in the uncomfortable, dancing in the gray, and seeing what manifests. And it's been really remarkable. So I have been feeling inspired to teach on this topic. So if this is piquing your interest, and if you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I have trust issues with the universe, I struggle to trust in other people, or I really doubt myself, and I always self-sabotage, and I really doubt my ability to move myself forward, then I have a very special offer, special container, a special treat that is coming your way at the beginning of 2025. So this is just a quick little hint, a quick little preview of that. More to come. It's not been released yet, but I will be teaching on this subject in 2025 because of the journey that I've been on this year. And what I've really learned is that by following your unique intuition, your sense, your instincts, taking risk, following your instincts and your intuition and where you're being guided, it always pays off. And it may not be in the way that you expect. It may pay off in terms of a lesson or experience that you have to have. But that lesson or experience always opens a door into something new, something better, a new pathway, a new opportunity. And sometimes those risks do really pay off and they're amazing. And, it pays off in a really big way. And that's also fantastic. But sometimes it pays off in a way that you don't expect. I'm getting emotional as I think about this whole situation with this retreat that I tried to plan this year and that not working out. And then that just opening up a doorway to something that I needed so much more instead, which was a vacation and spending money on a vacation that I desperately needed. So it's things like that where you take a risk, you don't know what's going to happen, and it ends up paying off in a way that you don't expect, but that leads to something greater than you could have imagined. That's trust. When you trust in the universe, no matter what, 100%, you know that you're always supported and guided. And that's when life literally opens up for you. You may not have a grand plan for yourself. You may not have your perfect 5-year plan. And that's okay because you operate from a sense of, I trust that I'm being guided and led. And I have a vision for myself because I'm trusting in my intuition. I'm being guided and led. And every single day, you take small action steps. And as you go along, those little action steps lead to bigger things and manifest into bigger things. And you meet the right people. People are involved in this, by the way. Again, we can't manifest in a silo. So there are always going to be other people who are involved in your manifestations. And those people connect you to other people that lead you to really, really cool things. So that's a big part of my year this year, was really anchoring into that trust frequency. And it takes a lot of surrender. There have been so many moments this year, things like waiting at the airport or, waiting for your bags at the baggage claim, wondering if they're going to get to you on time, or me being in an Uber trying to get to the train station on time because I got lost in the moment and forgot to leave my hotel at early for my train. And I'm in the Uber and I'm like waiting to get to the train station to make sure I don't miss the train. And sure enough, getting to the train station exactly on time. And sure enough, making my train and getting a seat all to myself and enjoying the train ride. That's literally the energy of surrender, is when you're in the Uber and you are running late and you just lean back and you're like, well, I'll get there when I get there. And sure enough, you arrive exactly on time, exactly when you need to. That's the energy of surrender. So that's another big piece of this, is that divine timing component. And I laugh as I say that because it's something I'm still working on mastering, as I feel like we all are. When it comes to divine timing, your human ego mind desperately wants something now. You are so attached to a financial goal, or you're so attached to finding the specific thing that you need to reach a specific deadline. You're so attached to booking the flight on this specific day. And sometimes the universe has other plans, and sometimes things take a little bit of time to unfold. And there's an element of patience that's involved. I've been on a very patient journey with some things that I'm still working on manifesting that haven't come to fruition yet. So I am one to tell you that it's not easy and it gets really uncomfortable when there are things that you really want and you feel so guided to have these things, but they're not here in the physical yet, but you can feel them so energetically in these higher planes when you're doing your meditation work and so forth. And I'm here to tell you that when you learn to trust and surrender and you lean back and you're in that Uber and you're like, well, I'm just going to get there when I get there, but I've booked the Uber, I've arrived, I'm in the car, I'm just waiting for the driver to drop me off. You know that you're going to reach your destination. You know that you're going to get there. You know that you're going to manifest exactly what you want. It's just a matter of time. So sometimes your human ego has to wait a little bit for some things. And that can be hella uncomfortable. So if you're one of those people, you're waiting and you're doing all the right things and you're excited and you're like, when's it going to come? When's my divine partner going to come? Or when am I going to finally get my big break on social media? When am I going to manifest the money or the clients in my business? It's coming, but you still need to do your work. You still need to, book the Uber. You still need to do your due diligence, but you show up and then you have to wait in the car for a little bit, but you'll get there. You'll absolutely get there. Divine timing is everything. That's a big thing I've been learning this year as well. And the more you trust and surrender to that, the more you know that it will happen for you. So if there's a part of you that's not trusting, that's something to take a look at, because there may be a gift in that energy, a gift in that healing that needs to take place. Maybe a part of you that feels abandoned or alone or afraid because of what's happened in the past. But if we allow her or them or him to receive the healing around that, it can really pay off in spades. So that word of magic really paid off for me this year. Oh, and one other thing I have to mention too is the slowing down. As we're talking about divine timing here, and I have really had to learn how to pace myself to get comfortable with being on a soul-driven pace that is not necessarily the ego mind's pace. I am someone who likes to do things very fast. I like to move at the speed of light. I like to say that I like to move at the speed of light, and I like people around me who move at the speed of light. However, just because you're that way doesn't mean that the universe is going to meet you there, especially if there is a greater divine plan for you, or if you're not ready for what you say that you want, or if there are other things that have to get sorted out behind the scenes that are out of your control in order to come together in the perfect way for you to manifest the thing that you want. sometimes my speed of light, friends, you have to slow yourself down a little bit. And I know that's really uncomfortable because it's easier to just go fast because being busy bypasses emotions. It bypasses the discomfort and the sadness and the disappointment at not having the things that you want. However, when you slow down and you let yourself feel those things and you feel the anger and the annoyance at why your manifestation isn't here yet, it helps you gain so much clarity and perspective on all of these other things needed to happen in my life, and I'm still not there yet. And the universe still isn't there yet to meet me there, and that's okay. When you slow down, there is so much spaciousness that comes in the rest. And there may be some difficult emotions that come up at first, some things that you're avoiding that you don't want to take a look at. And so what I've been learning this year is that in facing those uncomfortable emotions that come up when I slow down, that it gives me peace because I am no longer being driven by this internal motor of stress or anxiety or fear. I have felt those feelings. I've let them move through me. And now I can be at peace because I can move a little bit more slowly and know that everything is going to happen exactly as it needs to happen. So my friend, let's just take a deep breath together in unison to help you just sort of anchor into slowing yourself down in a healthy and joyful way to ground yourself in the moment, to feel and to receive. So right now, taking a deep breath in through your nose, breathing deeply as you can into your belly, and then exhaling out the rest, letting it all go. Beautiful. By the way, you're receiving some energy work as this podcast episode is being transmitted to you. So you may feel some things shifting, some awarenesses, some things coming up. Just know that it's all happening for your highest and greatest good, and know that you're supported every single step of the way along this journey. And with that concept of support, I have to say I've been learning a lot this year around not doing things on my own and not being the lone wolf and letting myself be supported. It's been really beautiful to let myself lean into community support, to lean into the support of my new team members, my podcast editor, my virtual assistant, even Jack, my amazing partner, boyfriend, who does my editing for the YouTube channel and who's the amazing brains behind the YouTube channel. So letting myself lean into these team members, letting myself lean into my spiritual team, and letting myself also set boundaries with loved ones and people, family members and people that I love, but asking for support from them in other ways has been really big for me because it tells the universe that I am open to receive in ways that I may not be able to expect. It helps you, like, here's an example. Let's say that you are wanting to work on, you've got a big idea for a project that you're really excited about, and you don't know how it's going to come to fruition. So for me, like, this podcast is a really good example of that. And you don't know how it's going to come to fruition. You've got a lot of fear, you've got a lot of resistance, but let's say that you trust in your podcast and that it's going to work out. So you're open to receiving support around it. Well, you one day find the perfect person who can be the editor for your podcast. And this person, ends up being such a big help to you and your business. And you wouldn't feel like you wouldn't have been able to create the podcast or the project without that person's support. That's what I mean here. That you don't have to do things alone, that your business doesn't need to be something that you create alone, that when you're open to the right people coming into your life, that weaves a magic web of connection that helps call forward even more people who can support you. So being open to support and cultivating that system around you has been really important for me this year. So I have been in a year number 2 in terms of numerology. So in numerology, we go through year-long cycles that are represented by a single number, a single digit 1 through 9. I'm going to do a whole thing about this during our January energy forecast. So have a note about that to talk about that for you in January. But just for the purpose of this episode, what you need to know is that I went through a year 2 this year. 2 in terms of numerology is the number of other people, friends, loved ones, family members. And so this year for me has been about opening up my energy field to be open to the other. In my year 1, which was in 2023, it was really about building a firm foundation for myself for success and really anchoring into systems and structures and things in my business that I created, that I did on my own. I think I had a whole year without hiring anybody to help me, which really helped me. And I needed to do that year because it really helped me get clear on how my business works and my business model, and to do the things behind the scenes that sometimes we can just outsource people for without knowing how to do them, which can be good. And there's a time and a place for that. But for me, I just needed to build everything myself. And then now that I know how to do things, hire people and delegate it to people based on what I know how to do. So my 2023 year was really about doing that stuff, figuring it out for myself. This year, it's been about the delegating and allowing others to help me. But it's also been a lot about taking my power back when it comes to relationships with others, knowing that other people are going to be playing a big role in my life and that everybody else is going through their own situations and stories and hard times and healing journey, and that I don't need to be the one to take responsibility for that or to do it for you or to tell you exactly the right thing, that I can be a loving person and a supportive person for you, but I don't need to take responsibility for you. So it's also been a year of setting boundaries with people and unburdening myself from a lot of the things that I've been placing on my shoulders in terms of clients, in terms of family members, to really let myself focus on me and my journey and what I need, while also being supportive by others and having my heart open to others without having to take on energetically their stuff. Because I was doing that a lot the last few years and realized that's not energetically sustainable and it's not healthy and it's too much. So the more that I set boundaries in small ways and in big ways, by telling the people that I love that I can't be their coach, counselor, or therapist, the more that I feel supported because I can show up as a family member to them, but I don't need to show up as coach, counselor, or therapist, especially in family or friend situations where I am giving unpaid advice. It's a different situation with clients. And even with clients, I have to have hours when people can reach me and where people can reach me, so that I can respect my own rest and my own free time when I need to take a day off or be off the clock. So this year of the 2 was really all about those energies, those dynamics. And again, leaning into the magic of the universe to let the universe support me and be this beautiful system for me for wisdom and guidance and healing. And with all of that being said, one thing that I also feel really called to share on this topic of self versus others is that I also really needed to. So this was a journey that I was on, I would say the second half of 2023 until the first half of 2024. I needed to call all of my energy back. So anywhere where I was working with coaches or mentors or others and was getting a lot of feedback or advice or guidance from other people and following that instead of listening to my own compass, I really had to learn this year how to discern my own truth. It's also been a big year of discernment for me, with learning what is my truth versus somebody else's truth. And I will tell you that I had to go through a really difficult transition with exiting an old mentors community and really starting up again on my own 2 feet with my business, someone that I had spent a lot of money on coaching, who had given me a lot of advice and guidance, who had helped me build a lot of business systems over the last several years. This was a relationship that lasted, I believe, at least 2 years. So a lot of time. I had to say goodbye and literally totally cut ties with this person. And I had a lot of fear about that and the repercussions of that. And am I going to be able to do this on my own without this mentor who's helped me so much? And am I going to be able to figure it out? And can I do it? Am I an expert enough in the Akashic Records? Am I an expert enough as a spiritual teacher to be able to teach people and lead and guide? And I have found that sometimes you need to take a break from listening to the advice and guidance from others. So this is just something, this is this little side note for some of you that may resonate. It's not going to resonate with everybody. But if you've been giving away too much of your power to your spiritual teachers and mentors and other people who have been leading you and guiding you, and you haven't really taken the power into your own hands to lead yourself and discern for yourself your own truth, you may need to stop listening to other people's podcasts. I'm not telling you to stop listening to this one, but you may just want to take the reins back and really focus on yourself. You may need to stop working with mentors for a period of time and just really go inwards. So I spent a period of time, I would say, again, it was probably about a year where I did not work with anyone really, maybe a couple of sessions with energy healers here and there, maybe an online course here or there. But I really didn't start learning new things or working with anyone new until the second half of this year. And I can confidently tell you that by learning how to lead myself and discerning my own truth, it helped me be such a better channel for everything because I am not being influenced by the words or guidance of others. I don't have the flavor of my mentors or teachers in my field. I am really able to be a clear channel from Emily, from Source, for you, without the influence of others. So that's also been a big part of my year this year. And with all of that being said, I feel so blessed because this year has been the year of starting the podcast, hitting over 20,000 followers of you on Instagram. I have, of course, been teaching the Akashic Records now for almost a year in terms of my own system. So this will be my second full year of teaching the records in general, and have been able to teach over 35 of you, which has been amazing. I started teaching light language this year, which also opened up inadvertently my trance channeling gift. So that's been really interesting. This year has been a big year of spiritual growth and business growth and visibility growth. And I wanted to share with you some of these things that I've been learning this year because they may help inspire you with your own journey moving into 2025. So with that being said, I want to get into some of my recommendations and guidance for you when it comes to your own manifestations, your own intention setting journey for the new year as we head into 2025. You can do this whenever you want. It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Follow your intuition when you feel guided to do some of the activities I'm going to share with you. You can use the winter solstice as your weekend for doing that. So the winter solstice, also known as the Yule celebration, is the darkest day of the year. It's the day when we have the least amount of light and the longest night. And so bringing light to the winter solstice can be a really powerful thing to reflect on the year that you've had and set your intentions for the new year. It's a great time window for manifestation. However, it doesn't have to be if you're busy or have other plans. I know for me, this year it's my mom's birthday that weekend, so I won't be doing any complicated winter solstice ritual this year. And I'm not a big complicated ritual person. Like, I'm not doing complicated spell work behind the scenes with herbs and potions and candles and things like that. I'm very simple with my practices. But you know what I will be doing? I will be opening my records that morning of the winter solstice. I will be talking to my guides. I will be asking them questions, and I will be sharing with them some things that I want to manifest and asking for help, asking for support. So that is as simple as my own winter solstice ritual. So you don't need to make this complicated. And also too, if you want to do this on or around the new year itself, whether you want to do this on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, or even as we head closer to 111, because I love celebrating the magic of the 111 portal to represent new beginnings. Again, it doesn't matter when you do this. What matters is that you follow your intuition and your own compass when you feel ready to do a little bit of inner reflection. So I would encourage you to take some time to reflect on your year, or some of the main lessons for you, or some of the main themes that came up. What are you celebrating? What are you feeling so grateful for? Just sitting with some of those questions can be really profound and help you see, oh yeah, I did learn this. Oh yeah, this came up a lot, and this is what happened, and here's how I'm feeling as a result. So take some time to sit with some reflection questions. And then when you're ready to create your intentions for manifestation, what I really like to do is, number one, I like to first write out what I am wanting to manifest for the new year. So I like a good old-fashioned notebook, and I just really like to free write all of the energies and all of the things that I'm feeling guided to call in for the new year. So for me, at the beginning of 2024, this year was really all about magic and synchronicity. So I wrote down a lot about expanding my gifts and opening to working with my guides in a deeper way and asking for their help and support. So that's really what I focused on, and that's what I wrote down. I also like to put my manifestations into categorical lists. So if this resonates with you, you can do it this way. You can write down a list for your financial manifestations, your career manifestations or business manifestations, your travel manifestations, your home manifestations, physical items that you're wanting to manifest, spiritual things that you're wanting to manifest. You can write it down in categories. That can be really fun, and that can be really exciting as well. So you can definitely do it that way. So what I did this year, I'm going to read a few of these to you. When I was really thinking about my year and what I want to create for myself, I wrote this first down in a notebook. And then a couple of days later, I was really just sort of sitting in the energy of my year for 2025. And I feel a lot of expansion coming and just big changes for me. So I took the notes app of my phone and wrote at the top, in 2025, ... And then I started to free write affirmations in the present tense of things that I am wanting to create. So I'm going to share a couple of these with you. We're just going to be candid, and I'm going to share with you some things that I'm working on. So here's a beautiful one at the top. In 2025, I am blessed with an infinite supply of financial wealth beyond my wildest dreams. So what I did there was I wrote the statement in the present tense, I am blessed with, instead of saying I will be blessed with, or in the new year, I will create this, I will create the wealth. I actually wrote it in present tense. And that way I can affirm these statements to myself and really feel the energy of what that feels like in my body. So when I say I am blessed with an infinite supply of financial wealth beyond my wildest dreams, I feel so much freedom. I feel so much lightness and expansion, and just like I can relax. I feel like, oh, that feels really good. So when I write these statements down, I'm really feeling that energy in my body as I do it. And when I will go back to these statements in the future, I will feel that frequency as I connect to it. Another one is, I am extremely successful, well known and loved, and get asked to be on many successful podcasts, TV shows, and social media platforms with big audiences. Ooh, doesn't that sound juicy, right? Maybe fellow business owners out there, you may want to take that one for yourself. So this is all about visibility. I'm extremely successful, well-known, and loved by many, and get asked to be on many successful platforms. So it's really specific. I'm really anchoring into some specific things that I'm calling in, while also saying that I have these things in the present tense. The other thing I'm working on is manifesting more passive income, because as a business owner, I create a lot of my income through teaching and through mentorship. So I want to work on manifesting some passive income, because why not? I built a great business, so let's do it. So I have my statement here. I make large amounts of money every month from passive income, and I have an overflow of wealth for me to do things and have things that bring me joy. Hell yeah, let's anchor into that energy. So these are just some examples of things that when you're stating what you're creating, you're specific about it, and you're specific about, for example, where the money is going to come from. So for you, if you're trying to figure out how you're going to be manifesting wealth, instead of just saying, I am blessed with large amounts of wealth, you can say, I am blessed by large amounts of wealth through a promotion at my job, or through starting a business that gives me financial freedom, or by being a successful podcast host, or wherever you believe your financial wealth is going to come from. And this helps you. And I have another one here too. I am part of a community of soul-aligned friends that feels joyful and expansive, because I'm working on calling in more in-person connections. So being really present with what you want to manifest and writing those things down in the present tense is a really powerful exercise. And when you have them in your phone, so handwriting them down, and then putting them in your phone is so powerful, because you can refer back to it frequently throughout the year, and at the end of this year to refer back to for next year, to see if you manifested those things. Because yes, we are activating that timeline for you to call in all of your manifestations. The second thing that I like to do after I have written my manifestations is I like to sit with, what is my word of the year going to be? I like this practice because my word ends up being something that I can really anchor into and ground into during the year, to help me understand why things are happening, or to help me just really be in a frequency that I'm calling in for that year. And it needs to be a word that is resonant. So you'll know you found your word when you say it and you get full body chills. You feel really connected to it. I'm actually still working on my word, so I don't have it to share with you today. But when you're trying to come up with your own word, instead of searching for words out there, let it come to you. Let it find you. Let your word come into your life and inspire you, and you'll know when you find it. Write it down. Make that your word of the year. And finally, I am someone who likes to create a digital vision board. I am not into creating a physical vision board with magazine clippings and printing things out. No thanks. Not for me. Too much work. I love a digital vision board because why? I can put it in my phone. I can print a copy of it if I want to, but I don't have to cut things out. So I like to use Pinterest for this. So I create a Pinterest board every year of all of the pictorial references of things that I want. So for manifesting that passive income, maybe I'll find some pictures of abundance or money or, things like that. And that's going to get added to my vision board. So get physical image representations of the things that you want and create a Pinterest board of them. And then what you can do, you can keep it and leave it at the Pinterest board, or you can go onto Canva and use Canva and create a vision board with all the images that you've cultivated from Pinterest, and make it really beautiful and a whole vibration. So that can also be something that you do as well. And then you can change it. You can edit it. Sometimes I like to make mood boards for the different months of the year, depending on if I have time to do that or if I feel guided to do that or not. So that can be a really beautiful practice as well, to have a very visual representation for my visual people out there of your manifestations for the year. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek into how I set the intention to manifest my year. I also like to read these things out loud to activate the throat chakra. So I will likely sit down and maybe it's around the winter solstice or on New Year's Eve. I will sit and I will say these words, these statements I've shared with you out loud and really anchor into the frequency of those energies. So that's what you can do. Make it simple, make it fun. You can do all of these things. You can do none of these things. It's really up to you, but do something, because when you're really activating the frequency of the new year, it directs your energy there. And that is so intentional and so powerful and helps you call in what I like to refer to as your most resonant timeline. I am trying to get away from saying your highest timeline, because your highest timeline makes you feel like you have to be perfect and you have to do things perfectly, and you're not doing a good job if you're missing out on opportunities or if you make a mistake or if you fail at something. Makes you feel kind of yucky. So I'm getting in the habit of saying most resonant timeline, because it's the timeline that most resonates with your frequency, with your vibration, with what you want to manifest. And is most resonant for your soul and your soul's journey. That's the intention behind it. So with that being said, we are going to be doing a brief energy activation for you to help you anchor into your most resonant timeline. Now, because this is an audio podcast, I'm going to be sending energy work to you, and you may not be able to see it happening in front of you, but I want you to tune into your body and notice how you feel. If you're watching this on YouTube, you may see me doing light language with my hands. There may be spoken light language in this as well. I'm not 100% sure what's going to come through because this is being channeled live in the moment. But know that I am channeling a high vibration, a high frequency of energy of angelic, crystalline, Christ, divine source, light, and frequency and energy for you to help you connect with your most resonant timeline in the new year. So if you can, I'm going to encourage you to relax, slow down for a moment, close your eyes. And I want you to take a moment, connect with your breath. Begin to breathe in through your nose and to begin to breathe out through your mouth, letting the rest go. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out. As you connect with your breath, I want you to bring your attention and awareness to your heart space. Just resting your attention on your heart chakra. You set the intention to begin to open up your heart chakra to be open to receive. We also surround you in a force field of white and golden light protection to protect you and keep you safe during this activity. And now I begin to channel a high frequency of crystalline divine source light that is now coming in through your crown chakra. As it moves through your crown chakra, it begins to gently remove anything from the crown that's blocking. And it begins to drop through your third eye, opening your intuition. This year and beyond, activating you to your most resonant timeline. Dropping down now into the throat, opening up your throat to align you, speaking your truth, moving into the new year. We expand, they're showing me the energy of expanding your auric field. So there's something about your energy being contracted. So what we're doing is we're expanding your field so that more people can find you, see you, connect with you. Maybe about visibility for some of you, but for a lot of you, it's going to be about just connecting you with the right people. Like, let's activate you to bringing in the right people this year who are going to help connect you wherever you need to go to whatever you need next. Ooh, we're just really opening up the aura to be able to receive this. So any part of you that's contracted or hidden, we're going to bring that to the surface now. And we're going to ask that that energy begin to dissipate. There we go. That's good. We're just removing some old layers of identities, old layers of the ego mind, anything that is getting in the way of you being able to see the expansion of your power and the expansion of your field. Because you're a really powerful being. You're so powerful. You're connected to divine source. You can have whatever you want. You can create whatever you want. Time for you to start seeing that in yourself. So let's expand the aura to be able to receive that, to see that, to witness that in you. Setting the intention that this is the year that you begin to believe in yourself. Any part of you that feels like you can't do this, you're not good enough, what other people can do this, other people can have this, but I can't. No, it's not me, it's not for me. We're letting that go. That's just an old story. That's an old story you've been telling yourself for years. It's an illusion. It's coming from someone in your family line. It's an ancestral energy. We're just letting it go. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So yeah, we're opening you up to that energy of belief. Beginning to believe in yourself, beginning to believe in the universe. And they're saying we're activating a higher frequency of capacity for trust because you are able to trust. There's more support behind the scenes. There's more blessings that want to come in for you, but you have to trust that they are there and that you're not going to be left alone or abandoned or that other people are going to be given gifts from the universe, but you're not going to be able to have them. No, oh, it just didn't work out for me. No, we're letting that go. Absolutely not. It always works out for you. Things always manifest for you. We're just opening you up to receive that new timeline. We're opening that up. Yeah, beautiful. And your heart has so much more capacity for joy, but you're holding yourself back from receiving it. It's like, I can't have this today. I'm too busy. I've got too many other things to do, too many people to take care of. No, we're letting that go. We're opening you up to expand your capacity for joy because joy is yours. Joy is for you. Joy is here. We're opening that up. We're opening your heart to receive that. Bringing a big smile to your face right now. So let yourself smile. Let yourself receive it. Let yourself receive that joyful energy. Yeah, we're dropping now into your lower chakras. Ooh, yeah, the solar plexus is like trying to hide. It's trying to stay hidden. Nope. We're opening that up. We're helping release some of the self-doubt. Yeah, we're letting that go. Yeah, beautiful. We're opening up that sacral, that beautiful creative life force. Yeah, so anywhere where you're just kind of stifling your creativity because you're different, see yourself as different or weird or strange or like the outsider, we're letting that go. We're letting that go. Or the good girl. There's a lot of good girl programming here that you have to like be very vanilla and say things a certain way or do things a certain way. We're letting go of that good girl programming or good boy programming, that perfectionist programming, that obediency programming. We're letting that go. So we're opening up the sacral to receive a deeper level of pleasure and joy and, and creative life force. And then we're dropping now into the root. The root's filled with a lot of fear. So we're dissipating that fear. We're letting go of that heavy density. And anything that you haven't been able to explain in your life that's happened, things that can't be explained in words, but that have happened to you that are negative, things that have led you to not trust in the universe or others or yourself, we're dissipating that energy. We're letting that go. We're not letting you hold on to that anymore. It's an old story. We don't have to explain everything. It's okay. Your emotions are safe to feel, safe to feel and to experience life. So we're getting comfortable with being more anchored into all of you, all parts of you. Oof. Yeah. Oh, I just felt a deep grounding. Ooh, do you feel that? Do you feel that grounding in your body? You should start to feel that. You're coming in now. Yeah, we're calling all parts of your energy back to your body. Yeah. Any part of you that's with others or left behind or in the dream realm or somewhere else, we're bringing it back to you now. Good. Good, good, good. And then we're just going to ask the record keepers and guides who are helping me support with this to just open up the hands, the feet, the knees of everybody listening to this. So all the little chakras, little energy points on your body, just opening you up to be in your full divine creatorship. That's beautiful. Good. And just clearing anything else out of the auric field that doesn't belong, old emotions, stuff, auric gunk, anything that's clogging up your field. Good. Whoosh, that's gone. Beautiful. So now your aura is nice and light. We're filling it now with beautiful, sparkling white Christ light, as well as the golden frequency of abundance. The earth, Mother Earth, Mama Gaia, her highest frequency. We're filling that your auric field with that glittering, golden, plentiful, prosperous abundance. Beautiful. And they're activating finally your intuition, be able to see the truth for yourself, to have a higher capacity for your gifts. This year, dissolving any fear or illusions. Good. And finally, your crown is being stretched wide open, expanding you beyond anything you could imagine. And now we anchor you into your highest timeline, which starts at the crown. Good. That most resonant timeline, that beautiful divine timeline. We're bringing that in now, expanding your energy field. Whether you resonate with the words highest timeline or resonant timeline or divine timeline, it's the timeline that you need for your highest expansion, highest expanded potential. Most resonant expanded potential. We're opening that up. Good. You've been dropped into it. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're releasing anything not in alignment with that frequency. Letting it go. Good. Excellent. Beautiful. Breathing in again. Exhaling the rest, letting it go. And on this final inhale and exhale, you're going to wake up and come back into your body, breathing in. Exhaling, letting the rest go. The energy work is complete. Coming back, coming back, coming back, wiggling fingers and toes, and finally opening your eyes. Yay. I hope you enjoyed that activation as much as I did. Thank you for letting me channel that for you. I hope you enjoyed this episode here at Emily the Mystic. It has been such a joy and a pleasure for me to support you this year. So thank you for being here. I can't wait to see where the podcast takes us in 2025. Prepare for many mystical guests that I have lined up for you, more energy updates, activations, and lots of other juicy goodness for you. And if you are ready to align to your most expanded 2025, I have a brand new session that you can book with me. I'll leave the link for that below in the show notes. It is an hour long where we connect with the spirit guide that is helping you in 2025, and you receive messages and guidance for your year ahead, as well as an energy activation for your most expanded potential. So book that at the link in the show notes. Don't forget that you can still register for the Akashic Records certification. We will begin in mid-January, so the link for that will be below in the show notes. And if you would like to join me to begin the new year, our next Emily the Mystic membership call will be on January 7th. We will be doing a future progression exercise to help you see what is coming down the pipeline for you in the new year, as well as doing some other manifestation intention setting work together. So if you want to take everything you've learned today, but you want to hang out with me and do it together, come join the Emily the Mystic membership. We've got a great community in there. If you're anchoring into spiritual support in the new year, that's going to be your space for you. It's such a sacred place. I would love to see you in there. You're going to make new friends there. So come hang out with us. I'll see you on January 7th. Have the absolute best holiday season. I am sending you and your family so much love, many blessings. I hope you have a very prosperous start to 2025. And I will see you in the next episode in January. Bye for now. See you soon.